Good evening. I am Ms. Triveni, HOD and Assistant Professor, Department of Political Science, SSRG Women's College, Raichur. Today I am going to deliver a lecture on Dr. Ambedkar's views on women. Dr. Ambedkar, a great philosopher, political thinker, economist, and moreover is the architect of Indian Constitution. He has contributed a lot to the upgrading women's status in India. His ideas regarding women are remarkable. Before independence, he raised his voice against oppression, suppression and exploitation on women. Today, in this lecture, we are going to discuss his views, his contributions, his ideas regarding the women. First of all, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's contribution to women is right to vote. Right to vote is one of the political right. And Indian Constitution, we come to know that it is introduced in the name of a universal adult franchise. Today, the people of India, we are going to execute our vote irrespective of caste, creed, sex, color and community. This happens only because of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. When we go through the so many countries of the world, we come to know that women are struggled for so many years to get this kind of right. But very beginning, with the drafting of Indian Constitution only in India, we got the right to women. Because of the struggle, because of the strain and pain of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the Simon Commission accepted his recommendation and included it in Indian Constitution. Today in India, we are all going to execute our adult franchise, especially the women. The weaker section of Indian society, women has given the right to vote. The second very important is Maternity Benefit Act. This is a maternity benefit bill was introduced by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in the year 1929 in Bombay Assembly, and it was passed in Bombay Assembly, and in the same regard Madras Assembly has also accepted this kind of a bill. And the third main important contribution of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is Mines Maternity Benefit Bill. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was Labour Minister, first Labour Minister. As a Labour Minister, Ambedkar was instrumental in bringing Mines Maternity Benefit Bill all over India. He provided maternity benefit of 8 weeks. 4 weeks before delivery, 4 weeks after delivery. Women laborers can also enjoy this kind of a maternity bill. And the next point is that equal wages for equal pay. This is the Article 39 of Indian Constitution. Under 4th chapter of Indian Constitution, directive principles of state policy are included. Under this, Article 39 says that equal wages for equal work. There is no discrimination between women and men. When both are doing such a kind of same work, they should be paid the same equal wages. And this is also accepted under Indian Constitution. Afterwards, Labour Act also accepted this kind of equal wages for equal work, and it is called as equal pay for equal work. And one more important contribution of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is that Hindu Code Bill. Hindu Code Bill, through that the Hindu women personal rights are protected. So do you know what are the personal rights? Personal rights means the rights which are related to personal life of a woman. For example, marriage, adoption of the children, maintenance and divorce. This kind of personal issues which are related to the personal life of a woman. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar introduced the Hindu Code Bill and approved that bill in a parliament to protect the personal rights of Hindu women. So he contributed a lot to Hindu women through this Hindu Code Bill. And the next very important is Ambedkar thinks that women should also have some kind of a peculiar rights. Through that rights only she can upgrade her life. For that reason he included so many rights in Indian Constitution. For example, right to property, right to marriage and remarriage, right to succession, right to guardianship, right to adoption, right to divorce, right to maintenance. These are all the special kind of rights which are provided women under Indian Constitution. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is the person who makes the provision of this kind of rights to women in Indian Constitution. Through these rights, he wants to protect the rights of women, rights, life, and status of women in Indian society. So in India, when we go through so many acts, there are so many acts, there are so many laws, there are so many articles under the Constitution which talks about the protection of women and upgrading the status of women. They are all in the books. In that, some are the acts which are very, very important. Through these acts, we can protect the rights of the women, especially who are surviving in the bottom level of the society. For example, I'll give you only three such a kind of acts. How the rights of women are protected. One is a Women Labour Welfare Fund Act. Women Labour Welfare Fund Act. This act is giving funds to women labor who is working in unorganized sector. It is protecting the women labor. And the second one is Women and Child Labor Protection Act. Women and child both are the weaker section of the Indian society and they need a protection. And this act is going to protect the women as well as the child in Indian society. And the third and very, very important act is restoration of ban on employed women on underground work in coal mines. Underground work in coal mines. The women is banned to work under underground coal mines. This act is going to protect women not to work such a kind of circumstances. If it is compulsory to work, means there are some provisions made under this act. You can enjoy that provisions. Through that you can work under these circumstances. So these are the three are the examples which give you a special rights to the bottom level women workers who are surviving in Indian society. According to Ambedkar, how we can protect the women in Indian society, upgrade the status of women in Indian society. He gives the much importance to education. First one is education, second one is employment, and third one is participation in a political system. For education under Indian Constitution, we come to know that there are so many articles, so many provisions, so many schemes, so many policies of the government, plans of the government. Through that, today we are ready to give education to women equal to men. For example, Sarva Shikshana Abhiyana is nowadays it is going through that the government is going to give the education. And when you go through the directive principles of directive principles of state policy, come to know that under that many articles explains you about the importance of education. Second one is employment. Employment makes women financially independent. When women is financially independent, she can enjoy her rights. For that, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar gives a reservation. He talks about the reservation. But in Indian society, people are having the misunderstanding that reservation means only for SC, ST. It is wrong conception. A reservation is for not only for SC, ST, it is for SC, ST, OBC, women and deprived classes in a Indian society. So under this, some under employment also, some posts are reserved for women. So when women is educated, she get the knowledge. Through knowledge, she can enjoy her rights. Through enjoying her rights, she can take her independent decisions and she can survive in Indian society. Let me explain the next point. That is, there are some articles which protects the rights of women. Some provisions under the Indian Constitution. Through these articles, the rights of women are protected in Indian society. What are those articles? Today we will discuss. That is Article 14. Article 14 says equality before law. Article 15 says no discrimination based on caste, creed, sex, color, ratio. Article 16 says equal opportunities in education as well as employment. When you are giving the education and employment, you should not make any kind of discrimination. Article 23 protects women against exploitation. Article 39 again says about the equal wages for equal work. And 42, 51, these are also protects the rights of women. 243D, 243T, these two articles makes the provision of reservation for women under Indian political system. And the last point, very very important, is participation, political participation of women in Indian system. Women should participate. Frequently she should participate. She should enjoy her political rights. It is a fundamental right of women to enjoy her political rights. For that reason, under Indian Constitution, 73 and 74 amendments are made to Indian Constitution. Through these 73 and 74 amendments of Indian Constitution, 33% of reservations are made for local bodies. Under local bodies, urban local bodies as well as rural local bodies, the seats of 33% are reserved for women. Through that, they can participate in a political system, they can gain the power, they can execute the power, they can empower themselves. And Karnataka government, when we talk about the Karnataka government has given 50% of reservation to women under local bodies. Through that, they can enjoy their rights and they can execute their rights. They can play a vital role in a political system and they should give a contribution for nation building. That is the main motive before introducing this, making this 73 and 74 amendments to Indian Constitution. These are all the dreams, views, thoughts of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. These provisions he made, some pre-independent, some post-independent, some under the Constitution. As the chairman of drafting committee, has drafted a lot for women in Indian Constitution. So now the governments of central government, now the central government, state government, local government, it is the responsibility of these governments that they can implement these ideas, thoughts, views, opinions of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar to upgrade the status of women. After independence of 74 years, we come to know that in Lok Sabha, only 11% of women members are there. This is the reality of India. That's why it is the responsibility of the central government, state government, that they have to give more and more encouragement to women to come forward, to participate in politics, to enjoy the political privileges, to gain the power, to execute the power, Through that they can contribute for the nation building, and through that we can build a strong, empowered Indian political system. Through that we want to make Indian democratic system very, very strong. We say that India is having the biggest democratic system in the world. When our women is empowered, the biggest democratic system of the world is empowered. With this, I want to conclude my lecture. Thank you.